What's up, guys? We're back with another video today. And guys, UFC 318 Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway is finally taking place. And man, what a card, man. Just like this card. No, I'm sorry. I can't make jokes. This card is genuinely so just shit. Like, what is this? I have so many problems with this. I'll just go through it like real quickly. Why is Michael Johnson on the main card when you have guys like Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira, a fight that's on the prelims, and then you also have Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen also on the prelims? Why do you have those guys on the prelims when you have Michael Johnson and Daniel Zellhuber on the main card? What is this bullshit? This is so dumb. Like, I can understand, obviously, Paulo Costa and Roman Kopylov on this card, right? I can understand that. That's a pretty sick matchup. I do not mind that at all being on the main card. Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. Listen, it's Kevin Holland. He's going to be on the main card whether you like it or not. He's going to be on there 100%. Danny Gay versus Mauricio Pitbull. Okay, if I'm going to be honest, I get why they have this on the card. It's Danny Gay. He's a veteran. You know, he's a crafty veteran. And you have Pitbull. He's a decent name, but personally, I would have this on the prelims. And then you have Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. No sense why this is on the main card. When you have Kyler Phillips ranked 12th in the bantamweight division and Vinicius Oliveira, another ranked opponent, and it's not just about the fact they're ranked. This is a badass fight right here. This is a sick matchup between these two. And then you have Marvin Vettori, Brendan Allen, another decent fight, and they're bigger names than both Michael Johnson, Dan Zellhuber, Danny Gay, Mauricio Pitbull, all combined. I would bet on my house on that. Regardless, this card is just shit overall. Apart from the main event, that like Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier is obviously going to be a banger. And it's a Dustin Poirier retirement card. I don't think that they really put too much effort into it because, let's be real, Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier will sell itself. They're some of the biggest names. But enough about the ranting, guys. I'm going to be giving my full card predictions for this entire card, starting with the prelims and then ending with the main event, right? So without further ado, let's get right into that first fight. Alright, now the first fight we have is Kaylee Judas versus Nicolo Calriel. I'm going with Carly Judas by decision. Not much I can really say. It's a women's fight on the first fight on the prelims. Not much I can really say. I mean, I would just say Carly Judas. I'm picking her just because she had a TKO win in her last fight. That's literally only the reason I have her here. Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson McKeeve. People forget, man. Bruno Ferreira is the dark horse of the middleweight division, man. This guy is actually so cool. He's so exciting. He's actually pretty good as well, and I feel like he always improves in every fight. His last loss was against Abus Nurmagomedov, and it was by submission. Then his next fight, he wins by submission, so I feel like he's improving, in my opinion. I'm going with Bruno Ferreira by TKO in round 2. I think he'll be able to work around. Like, I think he'll dominate the first round, but then as the second round goes in, he'll be able to dominate him really, really badly, and he'll find the finish in round 2. He'll rock him and then finish him by, like, round 2 again. Not much I can really say. I mean, it's a short notice as well. This was supposed to be Bruno Ferreira versus Ikram Aliskerov. Would have been a sick matchup. That's a matchup you can put on the main card. Okay, if you're going to put Michael Johnson and Zali Ferreira, whatever the guy's name is, if you're going to put those two on the main card, and they're unranked opponents, mind you, why? Just why? If we're putting unranked fighters on main card, at least put Bruno Ferreira versus Ikram on there. But obviously that didn't happen, so they have Bruno Ferreira on the prelims. You know, that is what it is. Still, I'm going with Bruno Ferreira by TKO in round 2. Alright, next up we have Ryan Spann versus Lucas Brzezinski. Man, I'm telling you, man, Ryan Spann is just like, I don't know what happened to this dude, man. I mean, Ryan Spann, in his last 2 fights, he had a first round finish against San Paris. Decent win, like, good win to have, like, and that's the only way you should finish him. He's a bum. I'm just gonna say how it is as a casual MMA fan watching this. I'm joking, obviously. And then in his next fight, he moves up to heavyweight, mind you. I think that's a pretty interesting choice because heavyweight is, let's be real, not as skillful compared to light heavyweight. And he looks like he didn't, like, really add up weight at all. He looks like he just got fat, and he somehow gets finished by Cortez. How do you get finished by Cortez? Cortez is a guy who's not really going to finish people, and yet you get finished by him. I don't understand. This guy's completely, like, ruined his career, I would say. And I almost want to pick him because it is Ryan Spann, but I'm going to go with Lucas Brzezinski by decision. I feel like he's going to actually want to take this seriously. The dude's on, like, a terrible, like, record right now. Like, the dude's 9-6, and he's lost his last 2 fights, both by knockout in the first round. Not a good look at all. Not a good look. He's got to work his way, man. He's got to win this fight. I feel like he's going to want to win this fight. We'll see. I have no clue. If he loses this fight, he's cut. That's really how it's going to be. All right, next up, we have Jimmy Crude versus Marquand Petrino. I'm going with Jimmy Crude. I think Jimmy Crude's all right. He's nothing too crazy. He's just your average unranked light heavyweight. That's really how it is. I don't really see Marquand Petrino winning this. Not much I can really say. I'm not that too, excited about this one. I do hope Jimmy Crude wins. I've been keeping in touch with his fights. His last fight against Bellator was a pretty exciting one, actually. Hope he wins. I'll go with him by decision. All right, next up we have Adam Fidget versus Islam Dulatev. I'm going with Islam Dulatev by decision. Here's why I think it's going to be decision. Because I have this weird feeling, right? When you get a prospect who looked really good in the Dana White Contender Series, right? And the UFC decided to give him a bum in his first fight. I feel like there's just some of those fights where the fighter is supposed to get a first round finish, right? But then they struggle a little bit, and the opponent, their opposite opponent, finds some success, and they start to do well by the end, and then it goes to a decision. I can somewhat see that. I could be completely wrong on this. I just have a weird feeling that Islam will take this to a decision. I do see him win this. I do not see Adam Fidget winning this at all. I can see Islam winning this by KO. I really can in that first round. He looks really good in his first fight in the Dana White Contender Series. I'll go with Islam by decision. That's what I'm going with this one. I'm sticking to it. All right, next up we have Alberto Gurrielator versus Robert Valente. Bro, they're giving Robert, this poor dude, man. He got knocked out in his first fight, right? Loses his, Ultimate Fighter finale fight, right? He then fights Torres Fini in one of the worst... Actually, no. It's the worst fight of 2025. That might be in my Oscar video. You will see that at the end of this year. I will make another Oscar video. But, that might have been, genuinely the worst fight of 2025 right there. He loses that fight. Even though Torres Fini landed, 0 punches. Whatever. And now he has to fight another hard-hitting guy. The dude, Arbit, I remember in his debut, bro knocked out his opponent in the first round with a devastating KO. Devastating. But I wish I would pick for him because I do feel bad for him. I feel like he got unlucky in his last couple fights. I have to go with Alberta. I gotta go with him by KO in round 1. I can see it, man. This is the next Francis Ngannou. Literally, this guy is from Africa. I'm not gonna give any more comparisons. If you know what I'm trying to compare, you know. That's how it is. I'm going with him by KO in round 1. All right, next up we have Francisco Padro versus Nikolay Nikolov. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Both of these guys are bums. They just are. They have terrible records. Francisco is 1-3. Nikolaev's 0-2. They're both bums. What am I going to go with? I'm going to go with Francisco Padro. I think that I feel like he's fought better competition, right? I feel like he's definitely fought better unranked opponents compared to Nicolo. Apart from Davey Belov. But even then, that guy's he got knocked out in his last fight. It is what it is. I'm going with Francisco Padro by decision. I think he will win this. There's not much I can really say. I just think that he's fought better competition, right? And I don't know. I just think that's really the case for him. All right, next up, Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. I'm going with Brendan Allen by decision. I can see the case of Marvin Vettori winning this, but, and I don't want to pick Brendan Allen because I hate this dude. He's just a shit. He's just a dickhead. That's really how you gotta say it. I don't like him, but I think he's going to win this. I think he's a better grappler than Marvin Vettori. I don't think that's a hot take. Oh, he's a better grappler. But I think he is a better grappler than him. Striking-wise, Marvin Vettori's not apart from his chin, which isn't even a striking factor, he's not really that crazy of a striker. He really isn't. And I honestly would say they're both quite even on the feet, I would say at least. But I could be wrong. Brendan Allen didn't look terrible on the feet against Nasruddin Imavov, right? And both of these guys have lost their last 2 fights, right? They both are on a 2-fight losing streak. However, Brendan Allen has fought better competition. He just has. Marvin Vettori's last 2 opponents were Jared Cannonier, which isn't a terrible loss, but the fact he got the shit kicked out of him really badly in that fight. He literally broke a new record in that division with the most strikes punched at someone at middleweight. Unbelievable. It's Marvin Vettori. His chin is just unbreakable. And he lost to Roman Dolidze after a 1-year layoff. Not good at all. Again, Roman Dolidze is looking good right now. He is on a 2-fight winning streak right now, but it's Roman Dolidze. Come on now. What are we doing? Brendan Allen, on the other hand, he has lost to Nasruddin Imavov. Not a bad loss, actually, and he looked better than Adesanya did. He just did. There's no other way to say it. Brendan Allen looked better than Israel Adesanya did against Imavov. That's just the truth. He was able to take down Imavov, like, actually in that first round, dominating that first round, but then he fumbled it in, like, the last two. It is what it is. Then he fights Floofy Hermanson, and it is a competitive fight. I would say that it's not a bad loss either. I'd credit Anthony Hermanson, like, quite a lot. I think he's a pretty solid middleweight. I think he can be a top-level fighter, and I don't think that's a bad loss, honestly. And this isn't technically an MMA fight, but he then loses to Kyle Barado in a grappling match. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was a grappling match between the two. He lost that in a grappling match against him. That one's a little bit tough for me because, like, Kyle Barado isn't, like, known as, like, a crazy grappler. He's more like a striker, I would say. He's not really a striker. He's like a mixed person, I would say. An all well-rounded person, but not, like, so high where he's like Islam. You know what I'm saying? Point is, I think he's taken bare losses, and he's performed better against Imavov and Fluffy Hermanson. I think so. So I'm going with Brendan Allen by decision. I think he'll dominate Marvin Vettori, if I'm going to be honest. I think the first round will be close, but after that, he'll be able to dominate him. All right, next up, we have a banger fight right here. We have Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. This is such a good fight. This is such an underrated fight. Why this is on the main card just amazes me. Vinicius Oliveira, man, he's the dark horse of bantamweight. This guy is literally the dark horse. Bro, he took down a Dagestanian in his last fight. Said Nurmagomedov, man. I mean, that's Khabib's cousin. No, I'm joking. I think Joe Rogan made that joke. That was funny. He's not his cousin, guys. Said Nurmagomedov is not his cousin. I think Vinicius Oliveira is going to win this fight. I think so. I think Vinicius Oliveira is going to win this. I think he's going to look good. I think he'll be able to take down Kyler Phillips. I think he'll be good on the feet as well. I think he'll be able to rock Kyler Phillips a little bit, but I don't think he'll be able to finish him. I think this will be like a good scrap, though. I don't think Kyler Phillips will get too dominated. I think he'll put on a decent fight. I think his game plan is to just keep it on the feet and do not try and grapple with Vinicius Oliveira. That's why I think it was going to be a big major game plan for Vinicius Oliveira. Do the takedown, like dominate him, and then beat him up on the feet when he's getting tired and he's getting worried about the potential of getting taken down again. That's what I think is going to be the game plan between these two. I think it's going to be a good one. I think it'll be a really good one. I'm going with Vinicius Oliveira by decision. That's what I'm going with. All right, now we are on the main card of this pay-per-view. $80, by the way. $1 billion company, and they can make great fights. Whatever, but I don't want to sound like MMA Guru, because I'm not. I want to try to impersonate him, but the way I said it made it sound like it. Whatever. Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. Listen, actually, I will say this is a good fight. It is a genuinely good fight. It just is not main card worthy when you have Brendan Allen, Marvin Vettori on there, Vinicius Oliveira, and Kyler Phillips. It's a good fight. It really is. Like, it's a genuinely good fight. I'm very, like, I'm going to pick Zellhuber to win this because he's younger, he's got the longer reach, he's taller, but this is Michael Johnson we're talking about here. Michael Johnson is the guy to beat Dustin Poirier and Tony Ferguson and rock Khabib, rock Justin Gaethje, and then lose to CM Punk. That's Michael Johnson for you. There's no other way to describe him. And I could see him doing this because his last two fights, he's looked pretty damn good. He's still really quick at like almost 40 years old, and he still has crazy power in his hands, man. And Daniel Zellhuber, he got rocked by Estevan Ribovic at UFC 306, the Sphere card. And don't get me wrong, he recovered very well. Like, the fact he didn't get finished in that fight was unbelievable. I don't know. The dude definitely can recover very well. He can definitely recover very well. But I feel like he could get rocked in this fight. I can see that. I think that there's another chance that Michael Johnson, if there's anyone who can knock someone's lights out, it's Michael Johnson, man. Never count Michael Johnson out of any fight. That's just how it is for him. I can see him winning this, but I'm going to stick with Daniel Zellhuber to win this by decision. All right, next up we have Dan Ige versus Mauricio Pitbull. Now listen, right? I think this is a very close fight. I do think this is a close fight. Pitbull got dominated by Yair, and listen, it's Yair. I think Yair's low-key overrated. I think he's overrated. I'm going to say it. I don't think that was like the greatest performance. I think he got dominated pretty badly in that fight. He was trying to be the patient fighter to counter someone's punches. That's who he was in that fight, and it did not work with him at all. You do not want to do that with a guy like Yair Rodriguez. You just don't. Yair is a guy who likes to kick. He's a striker. Not a good idea for Pitbull. That was a terrible game plan. With Dan Ige, it could work. because Danny Gay is not like a counter puncher. He just isn't. He's not someone who's going to throw crazy kicks. He can, but he's not going to be that person. He's going to be a person who's going to box with you. He's going to be someone who's going to try and get in the pocket, and it could work for Pitbull. It could. It could work with him. He might be able to rock Danny Gay. But I trust Danny Gay. I've been listening to him on the Jackson podcast a lot, and I think he's very smart. I think his coaches are really smart. I think they know how to deal with this fight. And I'm going to go with Danny Gay with this by decision as well. I think this will be a good scrap, but I see Danny Gay winning this. All right, next up we have Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. I'm going with Kevin Holland by TKO in round 2. He'll win this at like the end of the second round, like maybe at the 45 and 70 second mark of the round. I think he'll finish him by that point. I think he'll definitely finish him there. I think this is a pretty easy win for Kevin Holland. Not much you can really say. The dude's pretty active. Like, there's not much you can really say about this one. I think this will be a free win for him. This is honestly lock of the night. This is lock of the night for me. I am very confident with this one. All right, now for the co-main event of this $80 pay-per-view, we have Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. I have nothing wrong with this fight. It's a banger fight. It's a sick fucking matchup. I love this one so much. It's like, it's going to be a great fight. There's no other way to say it. It's going to be a great fight. I'm going with Roman Kopylov by decision. People forget, man. Roman Kopylov is the dark horse of this division. He is the dark horse. We have a lot of dark horses on this card. We do. We have Roman Kopylov. We have Vinicius Oliveira. We have a lot of good, like, dark horses on this card, man. Like, dark horses are going to be winning on Saturday night, man. They're going to be looking really good. I think Roman Kopylov's going to look really good against Paulo Costa. I think it will be competitive. Don't get me wrong. I do think it will be competitive. But I don't see him win this fight. I don't. I think Paulo Costa's best chance. Now, hear me out. This might be a casual take, and I know Paulo Costa won't do this at all. I think he should try and take down Roman Kopylov. The reason why I'm saying that is because, dude, Paulo Costa is a fucking heavyweight, bro. This guy is, like, walking around like 220. I guarantee you he is when he's not fighting. And he could definitely, if he learned any wrestling, he could take down Roman Kopylov and just use his size, his 40-pound weight difference, to just, like, make Roman Kopylov get tired. He could so easily doing that. I could see him doing that, but I know that's not his game plan. I know it's not. He's going to be trying to use his jab, his boxing, his kicks. That's what his game plan is going to be. And Roman Kopylov, he's not going to let him do that. He's going to keep him out in the rage. He's going to use his kicks. He's going to use his jab. He's going to use his counters. He's going to use everything. And he's going to do it way better than Paulo Costa is. That's just how it's going to be. I don't see Paulo Costa winning this, man. I just don't. I think Paulo Costa, I think he's at a down point in his career now. He's looked good in his last couple fights. Like, his fight against Robert Whittaker was a really good performance for someone who hadn't fought in, like, more than a year by that point. And then he gets dominated by Sean Strickland. It's Sean Strickland. It's a very difficult fight for anyone, let's be real. But still, he got dominated by Sean Strickland. Like who are the judges who gave Paulo Costa, like, 49-46 for Paulo Costa? What an absolute, like, retard. Dumbass. Like, what an absolute dumbass that judge was. Regardless, I'm going with Roman Kopylov by decision. Alright, now for the main event, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. Man, I hate this fight. I really do. You want to know why? It's not because I don't think it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a great fight. It really is. But why did it have to be, like, two of my favorite fighters, man? I don't want to see none of these guys lose. I don't want to see any of them lose. The best case scenario is actually both of them going to a draw. That's actually probably the best case scenario here. I would love to see a draw because then neither of them win. Neither of them lose. Nothing happens. Perfect. Perfect for me. But there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. And I don't know, man. I think this is a really close fight. For me, I'm leaning towards Max Holloway. I am. I think Max Holloway is going to perform a little bit better than Dustin Poirier. I don't think it'll be a clear win for either one of them. I just don't. I think Dustin Poirier will have his moments. He'll be able to rock Max Holloway, especially after he got cracked by Ilia Topuria. Dustin Poirier is a big dude. He is a big dude for lightweight, and he does pack power in his punches. I do also see Max Holloway using his kicks, his Muay Thai stance. I see him using everything, like, on his disposal to, like, stop Dustin Poirier. I can see this being a similar reality to, like, Gaethje and Holloway. The only difference is Dustin Poirier is not going to be dumbass like Gaethje was in that fight where he just did not know how to stop Max Holloway's, like, punches and all that stuff and his kicks. I could see that, but I could see Poirier doing better than Gaethje. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know, man. It's a really close fight. It really is. I'm leaning towards Max Holloway, and I'm going to pick with him by split decision. I don't usually do, like, split decisions in these videos. I think I did once with, like, Merab and Umar when that fight happened, but I genuinely think this could be a split decision. I could see this being a really close fight. Both guys bring it all on the octagon. They give it their all, especially Dustin Poirier, since it's going to be his retirement fight. I'm going to miss Dustin Poirier, man. He's one of my favorite fighters. If you've been around my channel, you know I fuck with Dustin Poirier. I have one of his hoodies in my closet. He's such an amazing fighter. He's one of my favorites, man. He is my favorite fighter of all time right now. He's such a fan favorite for me, and it's going to be sad when he retires, but you know, what better way to do it against, like, a BMF? And, you know, if he were to win this fight, actually, he would have finally won a belt. Not the UFC championship belt, but he would have won a belt, but it wouldn't have been the one he wanted. You know what I'm trying to say? It's kind of funny. He would have gotten all the belts except for the one that he actually wanted. It's so funny to me, but as much as I would love Dustin Poirier to win, I don't want Max Holloway to lose. But at the same time, I don't want Max Holloway to lose and Dustin Poirier to win. Like, it just sucks. Like, it just sucks. Why can't we get Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje for a trilogy? Because Gaethje's not going to fight. He's going to retire. Let's be real. He's not getting a title shot against Ilia Poirier. He just isn't. So he's probably going to be retiring because he said that he will retire if he doesn't fight for a title. So there you go. You just wasted Gaethje's, like, career. You could have done Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje for a trilogy for the BMF. Boom. Perfect way to end both of their careers. Double retirement. But we're not doing that. I don't know why. UFC are dumb. Dana White's dumb. We know this. I'm going with Max Holloway by decision. I split decision. I think this will be how it's going to be in this fight. But guys, that is my full card predictions for UFC 318, Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway 3. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. Do you agree with some of these predictions? Do you not? Like, let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!